Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Indian Football's YouTube and Twitch channel. My name is Lokmanyu, and we are here for the FIFA E Nations Online Qualifiers 2023. What a pleasure it is to see the way the Indian national team performed yesterday. And it was such an interesting topsy-turvy results that we will eventually talk about. So let's just look at the explainer video, what the format is, and we'll take it from there.
Welcome to the FIFA E Nations Series 2023, where nations from all over the world come together and compete for a spot at the FIFA E Nations Cup, the pinnacle event for national teams. Here is everything you need to know before the season kicks off. Nations from all over the world will participate in the FIFA E Nations Series 2023. These nations will be split into 5 different zones for qualification. The FIFA E Nations Series begins with the FIFA E Nations 2023 play-ins. All participating member associations from the 2022 season are invited to take part in the play-ins. Top nations from this stage will qualify for the playoffs, the final stage before the FIFA E Nations Cup. Those that don't make it through to the playoffs move on to the FIFA E Nations Online Qualifiers 2023. Here they'll compete against other nations participating for the first time in the FIFA E Nations series for the remaining spots in the FIFA E Nations playoffs. The FIFA E Nations playoffs are played within their respective zones. Teams will compete for the 23 spots to qualify for the FIFA E Nations Cup, where they'll join the host nation. The FIFA E Nations Cup takes place in the summer of 2023, where 24 nations compete for national pride and the chance to become the #1 national team in the world. Follow all the action on FIFA.gg.
So, well, that video pretty much explains everything about the format, but just to give all the viewers a rundown, India participated in the plains. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do that well as last year. So, we moved on to the online qualifiers where we played new nations in this tournament, but those results have been fantastic. We will look at that, but before that, we will look at the new FIFAe Fame Her Game program, which talks about building a healthy ecosystem where women and men both can compete at the highest level in FIFA esports, where they look at developing the grassroots level and the competitive structure. Let's just have a look at the video.
This was me. That too. This was an overreaction. And I'm truly sorry for that. But you know, that's just me. And I will never quit.
All right, so that her game program explanation video, what FIFA E is doing, and it's a fantastic concept, really, to, like I said again, to help build the grassroots level and overall develop the competitive structure for women in FIFA esports. Now, coming back to Team India and our results, let's just have a quick look at all the results that happened from the 13th and the 14th, and we will have a clear picture as to how Team India performed in both these on both these days. First match against Mongolia, it was an absolute cracker, which was played in 2 parts actually because of some technical issues, but India eventually won the game 8-2. Then came the game against Macau. It was kind of a tough road for Team India in these 2 matches against Macau and Korea, but they bounced back really well against Vietnam by winning that game 2-0. And then the last game was a bit of a tough one against a formidable opponent in Indonesia, where we lost to them 3-2. But coming on to the next day, now this is where things actually get interesting for all the viewers and all the fans of the Indian E national team. India only conceded one goal throughout the day. That is absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Because against Mongolia, again, India run riots by winning 4-0. Then against Macau, a solid result 2-0. Then beating Korea 3-1, again, a very difficult opponent that we've always had to play ever since we started participating in these competitions. Vietnam, again, went down to us 3-0. Great result for Team India. And against Indonesia, the big result was 5-0. Yesterday, 2 days ago, we lost to them. But yesterday we won 5-0. So that is the results for you. Now let's just have a look at the points table now as to where India finished in Group B standings. 7 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss, 23 points with a goal difference of 23. That is the capability of the E-Tigers, the way they've played yesterday. Korea Republic, Indonesia, Macau all finished together in qualifying for the knockouts for today. Unfortunately, Vietnam and Mongolia got eliminated from Group B. Now, this is where it gets interesting because India will be facing Singapore in this knockout match today. And just to explain the knockout stages a bit more, match one will be played between Japan and Macau. So all these results have been based on, all these matchups rather, have been based upon how the group standings have finished between all the nations. Because India finished first in Group B, they will be playing against Singapore, who finished fourth in Group A. So that's how the matchup works. So the teams that win the first match itself from all these matches that you see on your screen, they all advance to the online the FIFA Nations playoffs. My apologies. And the second chance will be given to teams who lose their first game, and they just have to win the second match in order to make it to the playoffs again. So it's pretty simple that you have to win one game before losing two. And good situation for all the teams, in fact, and especially with how Team India has been performing, it is fantastic indeed. Now, let's just have a quick look at the matchup that we have for today against Singapore. Singapore again is a very good team. I myself being a player, I know how competitive it gets with these players from the South Asia region, and Singapore being one of the best. But our E-Tigers have shown in the past what they can do, and we'll talk about more about them when this match actually unfolds. Let's just have a quick look at the squad for Team India that is playing today. First up, we have Saksham Ratan, one of the veterans of the Indian FIFA scene. He is 27 years of age, one of the top players, like I said. Then comes Saransh Jain, really good player, has been at the top level ever since the start. He started to compete. And Charanjot Singh needs no introduction, one of the best talents out there, in my opinion, not just in South Asia, but in the whole world. Watch out for him as he progresses in this tournament and others as well. And now comes Sid Chandrana, again, a top talent, always amongst the top players. These four are truly one of the best when it comes to representing India at the highest stage, and we can't wait to see them go ahead in this tournament and qualify for playoffs. Now we'll have a quick look at the matchup that's coming up. But before that, let's just have a quick look at the squads that India will be playing and Singapore will be playing in this match. Now, the interesting thing from yesterday that's happened, that all the eliminated teams, all the players from the eliminated teams from yesterday, they were drafted rather, into the teams that have progressed into the knockouts. So India, as you can see on your screen, got Paolo Maldini into their squad. Now, just to give you a rundown as to how this format works, the draft system works. There are key players, there are drafted players, and there are open pool players. Now, key players are the players that all teams can choose. They can be the same. Drafted players are different for every team, and open pool players are available to all teams basically. So India's players are R9, as we all know him, Ronaldo Nazario, Kylian Mbappe, Ruud Gullit. Then the drafted players are Eusebio, Desai, Ashraf Hakimi, Zinedine Zidane, Ruben Diaz, and George Best. In addition to Paolo Maldini, who I explained will be joining Team India squad today. The open pool players: Rio Ferdinand, Alexander Zinchenko, Luka Modric, Carlos Alberto, Zambrotta, Christopher Nkunku, Alfonso Davies, Van der Sar, Courtois, Marcos Llorente, Darwin Núñez, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Johan Cruyff, and Alessandro Del Piero. So these are the players that are available from the open pool. And obviously, we'll see how the Indian team lineups. Now, let's have a look at Singapore's team that are our opponents today. The key players for them, same as Team India's: R9, Kylian Mbappe, Ruud Gullit. Drafted players will be Paolo Maldini, Zinedine Zidane, George Best, Nemanja Vidic, Eric Cantona, and Zambrotta. Now, the open pool players will be Kante, Ferland Mendy, Rio Ferdinand, Van der Sar, Alphonse Davies, Thomas Munier, David Beckham, Kaka, Puskás, Courtois, Carlos, Goretzka, Bale, Rooney, and of course, from the elimination pool players, they will have Johan Cruyff. So that's a formidable lineup, and trust me, these players are more than capable of coming in clutch whenever it comes to winning matches in such type of games. Now, discussing everything about the players, all the players they're playing in game, the players that are actually controlling those players, and the E-Tigers and our opponents. Now it's time to have a look at how the match is going to look like. I think we should be starting anytime soon, so don't go away, and we'll be back in a sec. All right, it's time for the match. Here we are between India and Singapore, the first match of the knockouts in the FIFA E-Nations Online Qualifiers 2023. The team that wins this match qualifies for the playoffs, and the team that loses will have a second chance indeed. Kicking off from left to right is Singapore in the red kit, whereas India plays from right to left in that blue kit. Team India's lineup is CJ and Saransh, whereas for Singapore it is Kun and Amran Ghani. Let's start for Singapore over there. Zidane on the wings tries to cross it in. Good header from Vidic. And they score the first goal. What a fantastic header that was. And that has caught Team India by surprise in the first few minutes. Rather, in the first 5 minutes, Singapore has scored the first goal. Not the start India needed, but it was a well-worked goal by Singapore. And now India has to rebuild as we see Maldini joining the squad for Team India and Johan Cruyff for Singapore. Both these players, like I mentioned earlier, have come in from the squads of the eliminated teams. Zinedine Zidane taking away the ball from India's Zidane over there. A bit of frantic game happening, fast exchange of possession. No team has been able to hold the ball for a longer time than 2 minutes from what I can see. But this is India's chance to build up. Singapore has always known to be a formidable side. And here's India's chance to break their defense. Zidane gives it to George Best, plays it to Mbappe, and what a beautiful goal that is from Team India. Great reverse elastico inside the box, and Kylian Mbappe will not be missing from that. Look at that celebration as well. It's exactly what Team India needed in order to get back into this game. And what a wonderful start we've had to this knockout fixture between Singapore and India. India has sort of taken control of the game ever since they conceded. Here's R9 giving it back to Best. Nice little build-up play. Ruud Gullit taking his own sweet time. Zambroda charges down the wing, has a chance to play it to R9, but George Best coming on the defensive duties for Singapore over there. Interception by Singapore, and they are straight on the counter attack. R9 on the wings. India has to defend this, has to get bodies back in position. And they successfully managed to do so. Now looks to build up again. 20 minutes on the clock. Great start to the game. Definitely not one of those dull and boring starts that you end up seeing in a competitive FIFA game, that's for sure. Singapore getting the lead in the first 5 minutes, then India equalizing quickly. And now tries to build up from the right side with Ashraf Hakimi. Zidane, step overs inside. Great ball roll, scoop turn. Kylian Mbappe. But Ferdinand just cutting him out. The most crucial position. Good defending there by Hakimi. Singapore has tried to create a couple of times, but India has been solid in order to win the ball from the open play. Hakimi now to Ruud Gullit, plays it to Eusebio, has the chance, gets it back. Zidane tries to take a shot, gets a corner. India is building up the pressure now. George Best tries to cross it back post. Kylian Mbappe wins the header. Can he get a second bite of the cherry? He does. And what a goal that is. It's exactly the kind of position you'd want to be in for a cross. And Kylian Mbappe, the second time, heads it home. And what a comeback it has been from India to score 2 successive goals. But Singapore is not keeping back, and what a chance that was. I was just waiting for it to play out because R9 was in such a good position. Great defending there. Such an end-to-end game. But India has clearly dominated the game ever since they conceded. Singapore started off by scoring a header from a cross. India equalized with a brilliant goal. Now here's a chance for Singapore. Great build-up play. Kylian Mbappe inside the box looking dangerous, but Maldini does a fantastic job. in order to defend. That's the reason why he's in this team. Johan Cruyff plays it to Zidane. Smart build-up play by Singapore, trying to trigger runs forward, break down the defense of India. Johan Cruyff in a good position. R9, great bit of dribbling there, collides into Cruyff, but somehow keeps the ball. R9 in a good position, and that's a penalty? My God, that was not something I was hoping for. Nobody was, but here's a chance for Singapore to score, and they do. Top corner for George Best. That was kind of a funny penalty, though, the questionable kind, because it was Maldini who actually fell down inside the box, didn't really know what happened over there. CJ and Saranj must be gutted. But here's a chance for them to score one goal before the halftime whistle blows as we approach 45 minutes. India would like to keep the ball for the last attack and try and score that goal that puts them ahead. Hullet plays it out to Hakimi. Here's a chance. Great run down the byline. Step overs inside. George Best. Great skill once more. But Vidic was there to cut it out. And the referee blows the halftime whistle where it's Singapore 2, India 2. And what a fantastic game this has been. So you can see Team India playing the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. That has been their formation since the start of this tournament, and they've fairly done well, I must say. As yesterday we saw Team India only conceding one goal the entire 5 matches they played. Here we go. The second half kicks off between India and Singapore. India playing from left to right in the blue kit, whereas Singapore is in the red kit, starting from right to left. And this is the first leg of the two that is being played in this knockout fixture, where one game will be played on the Singapore server and one will be played on the Mumbai server. So it's fair for both the countries when it comes to the connection. Here's a chance for Singapore. R9 plays it to Mbappe, who misses it. Phew. That was a close chance. Singaporean players must be gutted as to how did they miss that chance, but to the relief of the E-Tigers and myself, of course, that's a let-off for Team India. Eusebio now plays it to Best. It's a good press that's being done by Singapore in the central areas of the pitch, but India holds off well, now tries to create a chance. Zidane to Hullet. Somehow manages to keep the ball against Mbappe, but no, R9 has snatched the ball away. And this is a bad situation for India. And Singapore has actually capitalized on that by scoring the goal. This is not what the E-Tigers were hoping for. A mistake at the back that has costed them this, with R9 running straight down the wings, down the center actually, and ends up scoring. Again, Singapore has a chance with Cruyff, but well defended by Maldini. Mbappe now to Hakimi. India needs to keep the ball like they were in the first half. The build-up they had after they conceded the first goal, that's the momentum they need. Singapore actually got a bit fortunate by getting that penalty and scoring the goal, and then has done really well to capitalize and come back into this game. Great press from them. by their R9 to snatch the ball away in the center of the pitch and just run straight at the keeper and score. But we all know what Team India is capable of, what they've done in the past, how they've made it to the playoffs last year and then eventually the E Nations Grand Finals. So they know the kind of position they're in. They know the pressure that they have on themselves in order to get the results. For all the FIFA fanatics and fans of E-Tigers and the community of FIFA in India, the pressure is building up, although it's just the first leg. Plenty of time. Here's Johan Cruyff. Tries to play from the wings, but well intercepted there by Singapore. Team India back again, have a chance, great bit of build-up play, but again, the defense of Singapore in the second half has been strong. You see Munier being a part of Singapore squad, of course, a very good card, although FIFA fanatics would know what boost Munier has gotten. The 5-5 upgrade. R9 in a good position. Hakimi, such an important touch, but the ball was given away cheaply in that position. Still very well defended and got away with it. Here's Eusebio for India. Nice bit of dribbling, but Alphonse Davies using all his pace and strength to cut it off. 70 minutes are up on the clock, and it's been quite of an even game, I must say. India has not had good amount of chances in the second half, but they've pressed well and they have won the ball in a very good position. Great bit of defending there by Singapore on two occasions, not just one. Johan Cruyff now plays it to R9. Singapore using the wings really well. George Best tries to cross one in, but Singapore ends up winning a corner. As we look at the team for Team India, the lineup is, of course, a very strong one. You see Johan Cruyff playing at the left centre mid position, and that is because Team India is down by a goal and they would need a player like Cruyff with, of course, two midfielders, Hullet and Zidane playing. Sort of becomes like a defensive formation when you put on those tactics that these players do. And when you're attacking, it's actually 4-1-2-1-2, which is really good going forward. And that's what's worked for Team India since the last 2 days. But can it work against Singapore today? That's the question. David Beckham coming inside, crosses it in. Oh my goodness, that's quite a chaotic situation. But India gets away with it. Eric Cantona, as we see, is on for Singapore. That's the beauty of the draft system, though. You can try out new players. You sort of have to try out new players because you cannot take the players the other teams have, and that gives you an opportunity to play with different players as well. 80 minutes are up, and Team India are trying to equalize this match. Oof. Ferdinand somehow just gets away with that mistake. It's a throw in given away, but can Llorente win the ball back? He fails to do so. R9 lobs it out to Cantona. Here's another chance for Singapore. Hullet coming in position at the right time and cutting that passing option. Ruud Hullet. That's a great pass to R9. Can he convert this? Kylian Mbappe tries to turn inside, but great defending there by Rio Ferdinand for Singapore, and they get away with it. What a fantastic opportunity that was created by Team India. And now Singapore will try and keep the ball for the last attack, as all professional FIFA players do whenever it comes to such situations. India manages to win the ball almost. Great press from them. Just a bit unlucky that the throw in didn't go their way. They'll try their level best in order to press Singapore as high up as possible to at least salvage a draw from this game, because the second leg is there and India will have plenty of time, a whole 90 minutes game, real time 15 minutes approx, to try and come back into this game. But the first leg finishes, and that is Singapore 3, India 2. What a great game this was. As you can see from the stats, 7 shots for Singapore, 4 for Team India. The way Singapore started this game was actually really well. They crossed the ball in from the wings and scored a header from Vidic. Then India scored a fantastic goal with beautiful build-up play from the center. Kylian Mbappe, great skill scoring. Then it was another goal for India, quite of a scrappy one with the header that bounced for the second time. Then Singapore got a penalty, and then after that, India made a cheap mistake as per their standards, and Singapore capitalized on that. The first leg finishes 3-2 to Singapore. Don't go away, folks. We will be back for the second leg, and let's support our e-tigers in the chat. Make sure we help them, and we are heard, and they get back into this game in the second leg. Stay tuned. All right, guys, we are back for the second leg in this exciting knockouts game between Singapore and India. This time, India is playing in the red kit, whereas Singapore is in the blue kit. So, just to make sure all the viewers know that the jersey confusion is not there, it's actually India in the red kit and Singapore in the blue kit. And from the first leg, what happened was Singapore won the match 3-2, and that was played on the Singapore server. But this match is being played on the Mumbai server, and India would like to come back into this game as soon as possible because the stakes are so high. There's a place up for grabs in the playoffs of the FIFA E-Nations Series 2023. Great press by Team India. Oof, that's sort of like the same mistake from Team India that Singapore has made. Can India capitalize on this? R9, great dribbling inside the box, but Singapore gets away with it. And it's not the kind of scenario that panned out for Team India, just how it did for Singapore in the last game, where they ended up scoring from that mistake. But here's India trying to press high up the pitch. Good passing between Hullet, Zidane. Plays it to Kylian Mbappe. Great bit of skill. Reverse elastico and great defending in the end by Singapore. Especially Rio Ferdinand has been the rock for the men in blue in this game. As you can see, Singapore likes to use the wings a lot, spreading India's defense a bit more wider. But they have to keep in shape and avoid giving chances to Singapore in dangerous areas. Hullet to Zidane. Tries to play it out wide, but Hakimi once again showing why his Team of the Year card is so good. Just comes out of nowhere and intercepts Eusebio. Zidane tries to play the pass, but Singapore again cutting it off really quickly. Johan Cruyff tries to cross it in. Zambrotta wins the header. Hullet wins the second one. R9 plays it out to Zidane. Does another skill, but great defending. Fast and frantic this game has been, end to end. India making a couple of chances. And then Singapore on the other end. Zambrotta now plays it to Ruben Diaz. Hullet. Good passing there from Team India. Eusebio, can he make the most of it? Zidane plays it to George Best. Once again, cut out by Singapore. Sort of interesting to see how the narrow formation works. There's so many players in the central areas of the pitch and how they are used on the wings as well by both these national teams. Hullet now has a chance. Well done, Zidane, to cut off that pass. No team has been able to hold on to possession for a long time. Same was the case the last game, and that's exactly what happens when two great teams go up against each other. And this is what we're witnessing in this game as well. George Best plays it back to Munier. India keeping their shape, not trying to force out players too much and give in to Singapore's idea of keeping possession. There's plenty of time since, like I mentioned earlier, it is two legs, and the first leg, that the score you can see on the screen with Singapore winning that game 3-2. Still early days in this game, you can say. India has plenty of time to come back and make a statement. Great pass there. Kylian Mbappe. Can he make the most of it? R9. And there we go. What a fantastic goal that is. That is exactly what I was talking about. Patience was the key for Team India. One opening they saw from Kylian Mbappe running behind the defender. That extra pass to R9 and a wonderful finish. The legend from Brazil does not miss that. Fantastic goal from Team India, and who else but R9 to score that equalizer for India. Once again, great press, some sort of confidence oozing out from CJ and Saransh after that equalizer. It's again a great chance. Zidane tries to play it to George Best, but well cut out by Singapore. You see the confidence in the pressing of India. They were not as aggressive as they are ever since they scored an equalizer, but they have to be careful because Singapore are very good on the break. And Hullet plays it to Best. Oof, Maldini. What an interception that is. Had he not been there, that would have been a goal for Singapore. Great defending, exactly at the right time. The last attack of the first half, will fall to India with the throw in. Can they make the most of it? Can they change Singapore's mindset going into the halftime by scoring another one and giving them a situation where they would have to change their game plan for the second half? India with the corner. This is their chance to take the lead right before the halftime whistle. George Best comes inside, plays it to Maldini, who takes a shot. Oh my goodness. Maldini with a croqueta cancel shot. Nobody would have expected that, but what an interesting chain of events there with Maldini almost from intercepting the most dangerous pass for Singapore that they could have scored from to coming inside the opposition's box and score a goal himself with that croqueta cancel. I mean, that would have been a story to tell for a long, long time between the E-Tigers and, of course, the Indian community. Here we are with the second half of the second leg in this knockout game between India and Singapore. To all the viewers tuning in just now, Singapore is playing from left to right in the blue kit, and India is in the red kit playing from right to left. India is up by a goal in this leg, whereas on aggregate it is 3-all. Here's a chance for Singapore, trying to create inside the box. Very well defended by Team India. Now they'd like to go on the break themselves and score one on the counter attack. Lots of runners going forward, but Hullet decides to slow it down and play it back to Maldini, who in my opinion is a very interesting player to watch out for after what he's done at the end of the first half. Zidane plays it to Hullet. Great passing between these three midfielders of Best, Zidane and Hullet. Zambroda now. Good pass once again, but very well cut out by Singapore. The manual pressing of both CJ and Saransh is very well known to all the players in the community and everyone who's watched their games ever since the start. It's been so good. And Singapore is actually feeling that pressure. They have to get the ball out between their players as soon as possible, because the more they delay it, the more chances there are for them to intercept the passes. A good build-up from Singapore. Plays it to Cruyff. And Zidane, what an important tackle that was to stop Cruyff from almost scoring. Mbappe with a tough tackle that he had to face, but somehow bounces back to Hullet, and India create once again. Hullet plays it to R9. There's a chance for Team India, and what a goal that is! The little shimmy from R9 by doing a step over, taking onto his right foot, and then scoring near post while they move their keeper. What a goal that is from Team India. What a comeback that is. And that's what CJ and Saransh are capable of. That's what Team India is capable of. And we were waiting exactly for this moment. Great bit of play there from R9. And scoring the most important goal. And from being 2-3, behind 2-3 on aggregate, Team India is now leading 4-3. What a pass that is! Here's a chance, but that's offside. That's offside. That could have sort of finished off the game. But Singapore are still in it. Great chance. Great defending by Zambrotta. Important interception over there. This gives a chance for India to build. Can they seal off this game by scoring another? Zidane plays it to Eusebio, who takes a shot, but Thibaut Courtois. My goodness, that Team of the Year card is a nightmare to play against, especially the players who play FIFA Ultimate Team regularly are well aware of that. You don't want Courtois rushing at you, spreading his legs like that, and saving. Here's a chance for Singapore with R9, and that's the equalizer. What a game this is turning out to be. Fantastic build-up play there by Singapore. Great close dribbling as well. But Team India must be gutted that how did they not score the second goal when Courtois saved it with his legs over there. I mean, that's of course a match-winning save as well, you can say. It's as good as scoring a goal. And that's what happens in FIFA. If you miss a good chance, you're vulnerable on the other end. And it's exactly what's happened. And Singapore are back in the game. What a match this has been. 70 minutes up on the clock. Second leg. This will go into extra time. And if needed, penalties if the score remains the same. What a game this has been right from the start. From the very first minute of the first leg, it's been a close affair between both these teams. And like I mentioned earlier, the players as well, one of the top players in the South Asia region. All the players in the squad of Singapore, all the players in the squad of Team India, they are amongst the best in the South Asia region, and you can see why. You can see how competitive it is. The winner of this match qualifies for the playoffs. That is one step closer to the grand finals where Team India went last year. And that's exactly what they wish to replicate once again against the formidable Singapore side. Eusebio now. India has a chance. R9 with a beautiful step over. And that's the goal they were looking for. And that's that celebration to show we are once again in the lead. Great bit of turn there from R9. Step over and scores the goal after a long pause. India has scored that goal. And that's sort of like a trademark for CJ and Saranj. They don't wait for that build up. They just make two passes and bam, they're in your box. And the net bulges in and they score the most important goal of the game as of now. Can India score another one? They have so many players going forward. Here's another chance for them. But Vidic. And of course, there'll be another pause queued for Singapore now to make changes and probably put on some constant pressure. It's been a delight to watch this game. Fantastic indeed. 5-4 on aggregate, 3-1 in this game to Team India. It's been a delight to watch. Let's make sure we support our E-Tigers in the chat with some Indian flags. Let's make sure that we are heard. And exactly what I mentioned after the first leg finished. that they are counting on the support of the community, of the football fans, the FIFA fans. And they know that you're watching and they want to make their country proud. And they're exactly doing that by being in this position. It's important for India now to tactically be sound enough in order to hold on to this lead. It's very important to do that. India is only 12 minutes away from making it to the playoffs. That is just nerve wrecking, nerve cracking, nail biting stuff indeed. Here's India with another chance. Kylian Mbappe back to Hakimi. They will have absolutely no rush in order to score that goal, and they wouldn't want to give the ball to Singapore like that. Just have to be a bit more careful. Cruyff now to Mbappe. Plays it to Hullet. Nice 1-2 between the players of Singapore. Here's a chance. R9, great defending there. A constant press on Team India. They just have to get out of the press and play on those counters. Here's a chance now. Eusebio, can he hold off the ball and play it out to the wings? Great pass once again by Hakimi. Eusebio gives away the ball. 4 minutes plus stoppage time for Team India. This is getting so close, and Team India is so close to make it to the playoffs. Mbappe will have no rush to attack, and here's a corner, and that will eat up more time. Exactly the situation India would like to be in after all the hard work from day before yesterday and yesterday. Today was the game. They had to make it count, and they are 2 minutes away from doing so. Can they hold on to this lead and secure their position in the playoffs? Eusebio, nice bit of skills over there. Again, he manages to do that. That's fantastic. Singapore with the last chance of this game. But that seals it. Beautiful scenes for Team India and all the FIFA faithful of the Indian FIFA community. Team India has qualified for the FIFA E-Nations Series 2023 playoffs, one step away from making it to the FIFA E-Nations Cup, which is the World Cup of FIFA E-Nations. And that is fantastic indeed. Look at the domination from this game. 5 shots is to 2. Last game it was 7 shots to Singapore is to 4 for India, and it's been a fantastic performance by the E-Tigers. CJ and Saransh, whereas Saksham and Sid Chandrana, all the E-Tigers together making this happen, and it is a result to be cherished by our E-Tigers indeed. Let's just have a look at what these guys have done. We have made it, guys. We have made it to the playoffs, and we are so close in order to achieving what Team India achieved last year as well, and that is to make it to the World Cup. Now let's see what's on the agenda next, because it is an important moment. I think we will be having a surprise for you guys. Well, I wouldn't say much for it. Let's just wait for that to happen. But let's just have a look at the score, if possible, from the technical team. Let's just see how we have fared up in terms of the scores. But again, once again, I would like to mention for all the people that are coming into the stream right now, Team India has made it to the playoffs by defeating Singapore 5-4 on aggregate. After losing the first game 2-3 to Singapore on their server, Team India were struggling a bit, although they did create chances. But in the second leg on Mumbai server, India absolutely dominated the game and they won that match. and making it 5-4 on aggregate. Fantastic result indeed for Team India by winning the second leg 3-1. And Singapore, great fight from them. I must say, at a point, it looked like this game will be going into extra time and penalties, but they managed to secure the win in 90 minutes itself. And Singapore, of course, will now have another chance to play from the second chance bracket, so to say. And India, rather, has done it straight up. No losses at all since yesterday. First day was a bit of a struggle, and we all know why that happened. Now, just have a quick look as to what's happening in the matchups. As we see, the scores will be updated between India and Singapore, and there it is. The aggregate score will be 5-4 to Team India. Indonesia against Hong Kong going on. We'll see what happens over there. Korea has defeated New Zealand after a very close game, I must say. And Japan, of course, looks like it. They have secured their place too. So Korea, India, and Japan most likely looking the teams that have made it through. And of course, we'll wait for Indonesia and Hong Kong. All these teams that have lost, though, will be getting a second chance. So Macau, New Zealand, let's just say Hong Kong, if unless they make a comeback, and Singapore will get a chance. And two teams out of those four will be joining the winners of these matches that you see on the screen in the playoffs. So it is, in fact, a very interesting format. And of course, more interesting to all of us now that India has qualified and we can just sit back, relax, and see who joins us in the playoffs. The playoffs, of course, is going to be an important one. Hi guys, welcome back to the stream. And just like I said earlier, when we finished the match, when India qualified for the playoffs, I said there will be a surprise. And that surprise is to have all the E-Tigers on the call with me right here, and for you guys to listen to them and hear their thoughts about making it to the playoffs. Let's just welcome the E-Tigers, Sid Chandrana, Charanjot Singh, Saksham Ratan, and Saransh Jain. Let's just have them on the call with us and hear their thoughts. All right. Welcome, guys. Congrats once again.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Perfect. Saki, smile a little bit more for the stream. All right. So it's great to have all of you here. Now, just to let all the people know that some of us traveled and some were like playing because of the Mumbai server. So we did it pretty much like a strategic standpoint. But it's nice to have everyone on the
Management
stream
voice.
now. First of all, it was CJ and Saranj who played this match against the likes of Kun and Amran. So I'd just like to know the thoughts from CJ first. How was it like when things were a bit difficult in the first game today when you were down by 3-2? What was going on in your mind, and how did you plan on making that comeback?
EXP. Uh, should I go first?
I think we lost them. I think we lost them, guys. So anyway, while they join back, Sid, coming to you, right? Of course, you being the part of the Tigers ever since the start of E Nations. How was the preparation building up to the last 2 3 days, and how has it been for you in order to contribute to the team while you're still at home? And it's the strategic planning that requires a lot of effort. So how did you go on about preparation for the last 2 days?
Yeah, I think it requires a lot of practice, requires a lot of efforts. As you said, these guys have traveled. I had to play from my house. We've been putting a lot of hours in, and it wasn't easy because we wanted to qualify for the playoffs directly from the planes, but it was unfortunate. Servers are quite difficult for us, but we knew coming into the online qualifiers we are the favorites to win the whole tournament because we always have that belief, and we've been practicing a lot. And credit to these guys, man. It was a phenomenal performance, and I think all the credit goes to them.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic indeed, because you said there are a lot of factors in play. I think we have CJ, Saran, Saki, and Naveen. CJ, coming back to you, I asked you about how the situation was when you were down 3-2 against Singapore, right? So how was it like? What were the thoughts going on, and how did you plan on making a comeback? Because the first game you played on the Singapore server.
I think we just wanted to keep our head in the first leg. We conceded, I think, pretty bad goals in the first leg, the penalty and then the third goal. And then we gave them a bit of a momentum, and we slowed down the momentum well in the end. Made important subs. We knew if we can take a 1 or 2 goal deficit going into the second leg, we can easily come back, and that's what we did.
Yeah, no, I think that was really crucial, because I could see that the determination to stay in the game even on the away server is all the more important. Now coming to Saransh, Saransh, I always see that you and CJ, you like to manually press really well in the game. I mean, I don't want to go into technically too much, but even on that server, like how do you manage to do it? Because you knew that there were going to be gaps opening up behind. So how did you both manage that? Like, how do you coordinate? Is CJ going to press first? Do you press first? How does that work?
I think we're very used to it now. Now that we've been playing together for a long time, ever since last year's E Nations. But there was a little bit of a fear factor, especially inside me when we were playing on the away server. I was thinking too much, but these guys calmed me down, and just we got the momentum back for the second leg. And as soon as we started the second leg, we were so confident, like heading into it. We knew that this is going to be our win, and like we made playoffs.
Oh yeah, so I'm coming to that now. So, coach Saksham, player Saksham, all the roles to Saksham and Naveen, of course. You guys have been very important with CJ and Saransh behind the scenes. What were your thoughts when they were down and they were up both? Starting with Saki.
Loki, I mean, I don't like to be called as coach. I mean, I came here as a player, and I wanted to continuously practice with them so that they don't take it easy, and they didn't. In our practice, they were phenomenal. There was not a single team that these students beat. I slotted in for both of them, and we were able to beat those guys even when we were making sub. So even today, when we woke up, I was quite confident that we'll get the things done in Singapore itself. Obviously, first leg was a bit slow to start off. Even on Singapore server, they did really, really well. But as CJ already mentioned, and even Saransh already mentioned, we were quite confident with Mumbai server. And I still believe we could have won by more goals because how well these guys were playing. But eventually, we got the things done, and we are quite happy about playoffs.
Of course, because I remember when I spoke to Saksham yesterday, he in fact said that all three of us are playing together in practice and we're doing really well. So any combination could have worked out really well for all of us. So I mean, it's the preparation that matters. Even Sid said that to me yesterday. And now coming to Naveen, now ever since you came to the national team last year, it's been a fantastic rise for you, and even in the domestic league you were the MVP and stuff, and now coming into the national team, what are your thoughts playing with your squad, being there and contributing to the wins and eventually getting us to the playoffs this year?
Yes, Saransh and CJ both are like fantastic players, as you know, and the way they played today was like magnificent. Like I was, like even I was like feeling very scared to like watch the game. I was like, it was very tense game, but they keep their head. They played really well, and the confidence they had, no, between them is was outstanding. So that was the main reason they played very confident, and they keep their head throughout the game.
I think Naveen's the
Yeah.
MVP this week, considering everything that has happened.
Yep,
Yes,
Oh yeah.
completely
agreed.
agree with this.
Yeah, I think we'll
Voted.
talk more about it later on. I think that's a topic that will go reverberate for a long time, because Naveen is the guy that helped us get out of that situation on first day. But anyway, it was fantastic to chat with you guys. Just one last question. Uh, any one of you can choose to answer regarding the playoffs. Though last year it was fantastic how we eventually made it to the E Nations, right? So, what are the plans for the preparation for the playoffs, and what are we planning? Like, how are we going about this? Anyone, Captain?
I'll go. Our preparations will be the same as we kept it in the main stage and throughout planes. We'll just practice, try pairings, and just like we did in internal tournaments among all the 10 players, we'll keep on doing more tournaments, keep on playing friendlies against other teams, and work out what works for us, and hopefully we can come out at the top in the playoffs as well.
Yeah, I think it's good that you mentioned the internal tournaments, because Saksham was the one, like, I just like the viewers to know, like, he was the one who took the initiative and he played really well in that tournament. And because I think he felt a little bad that I called him a coach, so I'm just mentioning this. But no, I think obviously Saksham's a fantastic player, and so is everyone else on the team. Congratulations, everyone who was a part of this, the whole Indian squad, the ones that are not here on the screen as well. They've had a massive contribution in order to help us reach the playoffs, and hopefully we can reach the finals as well, which is again going to be really important. Thank you so much, guys, and once again, congratulations on the playoffs. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.
Since सारा पहले वाला खेला था.
डिस्कनेक्ट करोगे? अच्छा, okay.